Since we're into August already, I figured it's time to break down the Cy Young hopefuls, the different candidates. This is the AL edition. I'm sure most people remember last season how I guaranteed at this point that Jeremy Hellickson was going to win the Cy Young, and he didn't. So, you could bank on me. It's a stone cold lock of the century of the week. And so here we go 2013 Cy Young candidates hopefuls, and who's going to win it. We'll start with the guy who I think will probably end up winning the Cy Young. So, again, I'm super jinxing him right now. You, Whirling Darvish. The $28 million man on Aaron's team on Minnesota. Darvish having an amazing season. 13-1 record. Just unbelievable record with a 2.55 ERA. A whip of 1.07. He's just having an incredible year. He's first in ERA. He's tied for fifth in wins. Just an awesome season for you, Darvish. He's first in WHIP. Just like, it's an incredible year, I think everyone would say. Right now, he's the favorite for the Cy Young, although it is by no means won already. Also in contention, I mean, you have to talk about a couple of Detroit's pitchers. Ryan Perry is 11-2 with a 2.91 ERA. He's on pace for like 230 innings. Whip of only 1.20. Which is pretty good. A lot of strikeouts. So Perry's pitching well for Detroit, who is leading the division. Turner's also pitching well there. I mean, Turner is higher ERA, 3.43 ERA, but he's 17-5 with a 3.4. So it's a higher ERA, but Turner's also having a good season for him. Same again. I mean, Liriano for Minnesota, his number two. Leading the league in strikeouts, but that's pretty much it for him this year. He's only a 10-10 at the 3.73 ERA, so probably he won't get much DAP. Then you have, of course, Shirley Perry's got the two Minnesota pitchers I talked about. Two Detroit pitchers. Got to bring up the two pitchers for Tampa Bay. Price and Hellickson. Price having another awesome season as he is wont to do. 15-3 with a 3.01 ERA, so ERA just over 3, a whip of 1.33, so that's a bit high, but 15-3 is pretty freaking good. He is fifth in ERA right now, so that's pretty awesome. I mean, everyone would say. Also, his battery mate means pitcher and catcher, so his pitching other guy, however you want to say that, Jeremy Hellickson, now 26 years old. I jinxed him last year, but he is having another very good season. Not as good as last year's, where he went 21-6 with a 2.73 ERA. This year he is 15-7 with a 3.07. Carrying Tampa Bay to the lead in that division over Toronto. So he's having another really good year. So those are the three teams that, like, the big teams. So probably one of those guys end up winning it. I mean, you want to keep talking about pairs of teammates. Should be mentioned the Baltimore pitchers, my guys Alvarado and Britton, who have been carrying my staff. They were leading the league. They were 1-2 up till the past couple sims in ERA. Alvarado only 10-9, but as a rookie, 22 years old, he has a good chance to win the Rookie of the Year. He has a 3.12 ERA and a WHIP of 1.26. Zach Britton finally putting it together. 8-6 only, but with 3.17 ERA, so another low ERA. They are 7-8 in ERA. So really, the top 10 guys in ERA are all come from 5 teams, which is pretty interesting. Cleveland Evans guy Latos, who I will repeat all the time, was stolen for the Lonnie Chisenhall. He's having a really good season, 11-4 with a 3.24 ERA. Really good. His whip's 1.14, so that's pretty incredible. It's a really good whip. So he's there. You got to talk about there are guys, a lot of them in the American League who just were traded for, that probably have been here long enough, but starting next year, it's going to be even deeper in the American League, more contention. Guys like Josh Johnson and Ian Kennedy. I mean, both of them are listed in the top 10. Kennedy has the second best ERA in the American League, but a lot of that's, of course, due to from pitching in the National League. So Kenny on Kansas City, and along with his battery mate, another maybe the besides for I'm pushing obviously for Alvarado to win the Rookie of the Year, but Ramirez on Sean's team, Kansas City, is right up there with him. Might even have the lead. Ramirez, like I said, his rookie season in 23 starts is 13-8 with only a 2.65 ERA. So incredible ERA, third in the league in ERA. Has a whip of 1.25, so he's having another really, really good season. So he's there. Interestingly enough, not in the top 10 in ERA or not mentioned are the couple of guys who are always pretty much there. You know, the guys from Seattle, Pineda, and King Felix. They're having a weak year for them, and which is probably why. Well, it's not why, but it's one of the reasons why Seattle is not doing well. Seattle's a game under 500, even though they are tied for the division lead. Pineda has been hurt, so I mean, he probably wouldn't get there anyways for the amount of innings and starts and whatnot needed. But 19 starts, 11-5 with a 3.99. That's really high for him. I mean, he has a career ERA of 3. So, especially last year, he went 29 with a 2.47. Won the he's our defending Cy Young winner, Pineda, even though he's only 24 years old. But he's not going to get there in innings, and even if he did, he's kind of sucked this year. His better mate, the King Felix, 9-8 with 3.49. Again, another guy had a career. I mean, the past 2 seasons, he had a 2.09 ERA and a 2.72 ERA, so he's now bumped it a run higher than his career ERA was coming into this. He's 9-8 with the 3.49, like I said. Much higher whip of 1.34, so he ain't going to be there. So a lot of new faces on the Cy Young balloting. I mean, who chances who could win it. I mean, like I said, a lot of new guys who starting next year will be incredible and give it a real competition. Kennedy, I mentioned, Josh Johnson. I hope Wart's going to be there, but we'll see about that. And of course, Garza just brought into Toronto. No reason to mention him for the Cy Young, but since we're talking about stud pitchers, got talent increases over this past since being traded, and is now unbelievable and could very easily win the Cy Young next season for the American League. So those are all the contenders. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm gonna put the whammy on, or who I'm gonna jinx. The winner, Yu Darvish, is going to win the Cy Young this year. $20 million a year. Is only 26 years old. Right future, pitching great for Minnesota. 13-1, which is incredibly impressive. But I love sabermetrics, so that's not really what matters. What matters is that he's leading the league in ERA with a 2.5 ERA and a WHIP of 1.07. Great stats. He's got only 9 home runs in 150 innings. Great year for you, the man Darvish. And he is going to win the Cy Young. Count on it. Bank it. And thanks a lot for watching. I'll be back with the National League episode in probably 5 minutes or whatever, as long as it takes me to put this one up. Then I'll get to work on the National League, which is going to be even better because there's much more competition in the National League, I think, this year. Okay, thanks. Peace. Bye.